how did you get into comedy?
How did I get into comedy? Well, it was definitely a childhood dream of mine. I was grew up in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. Always was the class clown. Always made people smile. Always made people laugh. But what's funny? Every time I did that, I was always voted or was nominated for like most wittiest in school and everything. But my first cousin, who was also very funny, man, he used to always beat me. He used to always win, but I was always nominated. So it was a childhood dream. I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. I love to act. I love to reenact different scenes from different movies and stuff. And never really truly thought comedy was going to be my outlet into the entertainment business. But just always like to have fun, put smiles on people's face. And to make a long story short, let's see, one New Year's Eve in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm now in Dallas, Texas, but I moved from Atlanta. One New Year's Eve, a couple of my buddies, man, we was out drinking and having fun, bringing in the new year. And I was just making people laugh, just out the blue, wasn't trying to. And somebody out the blue just said, JJ, man, you need to get on stage, man. You are funny. But, and I always dreamed about it and everything, but I just never thought it was going to come true because I was from Mississippi. I was like, ain't nobody going to discover me. Ain't nobody going to be looking for nobody from Mississippi and everything. So once they said that, I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, you know what? I found my niche. I found my purpose on earth. I'm going to do stand-up comedy. But I never told no one. I never told no one I wanted to do stand-up comedy. Never told my parents. Never told my friends. I didn't even tell God, but I knew He knew my journey, and I knew He knew. So once somebody said that out the blue, the light bulb just clicked, and I tried stand-up on one open mic night, man, and I did very well. Got a standing ovation my very first night. Very first night, I only did 3 minutes. Did very well, and here I am today.
Yeah, I feel like there really is such a powerful feeling once you get you have a whole audience clapping for you. I bet it's a very surreal feeling.
That was such a beautiful adrenaline rush, man. Just to have those eyes on me, I was not established. People didn't know who I was, and man, for them to be able to laugh at the jokes that I had at the time, I mean, it was an amazing feeling.
Oh yeah, I bet. So since you mentioned that this was something that, you had dreamt of most of your childhood, would you give any piece of advice? If you could go back in time, would you say anything to your childhood self, about where you are now?
I would have probably just said back then, believe in yourself, have the confidence, and feel like you know what's best for you. Just believe in yourself and step out there on faith. You'll never get nowhere unless you try. So early in my career, I never tried. I mean, I just didn't have the confidence in myself, thinking that I was, would get discovered or would be able to pursue this as a career. But I had the passion for it. So I would definitely tell my young self, man, believe in yourself early. So that's what I try to teach my son. I have a son that's getting ready to go to college, man. I used to always, put that into his soul, man. Man, believe in yourself. He loves basketball. He plays basketball. He's going to play basketball at Jackson State University this coming up fall and everything. And man, I said, man, believe in yourself. Don't take the route that I did, not having confidence in yourself early. Because once you wait, you're making your life a little longer than it should be. So go ahead and just believe in yourself early, man. Just step out there on faith.
Yeah, for sure. That's really great that he has someone like you to kind of, be like, you got this. Because I feel like oftentimes if you don't believe in yourself, then you start to convince yourself that you can't do it. And
correct.
So
Absolutely.
I definitely get that. So in terms of your career, have you had any setbacks?
Setbacks. I mean, being in the entertainment business, it is definitely a journey. It's definitely a challenging business to be in. You sometimes you may sometimes have those, setbacks where, you wondering, are you really going to get discovered? Are you going to really be able to take it to another level? So, I mean, it's a grind. It's a process, man. You definitely got to take your time. Again, you got to continue to believe in it, man. Have faith in the man upstairs that he has your back and he's going to guide you toward the right direction and everything. So, my setback, I mean, I won't say I started comedy late, but, I caught the tail end of Def Comedy Jam. I caught the tail end of BT Comic View. I didn't catch it when it was super hot, where that was the platform to get discovered. It was kind of watered down. Everybody was being on there. They were just putting artists out there. Not saying they didn't deserve, but, it wasn't for the special. So for me, being, catching the tail end, luckily, I made such an impact that my name spread it immediately, with help from, comics like Ricky Smiley, Earthquake or Bruce, and some more other, top tier comedians. And but so you get down sometime, but I truly believed in my talent. I felt like I had the drive and the gift to make it, and I just stayed with it, and things have really went well.
That's awesome. So how do you motivate yourself, or does it just kind of come naturally through like passion?
Motivate myself, it does come natural for me. I've been in the business a long time. I'm 29 years into stand-up comedy now. So I motivate myself, just continue to believe, man, feel like I do have what it takes. I do get inspiration from other comics, because we are almost like a fraternity. We cheer each other on, man, and people continue to cheer me on, and vice versa. So, I just continue to challenge myself and just continue to create and figure out, different, avenues of, being successful.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like there's also like, when you love something so much, I feel like, you don't have to be like, oh, I have to go do this. It's more like excited to do it.
Because I never felt like this was a job. Like, I truly love what I do. So it's no problem for me getting up, trying to write down different, jokes or different scenes or different things that I feel like that would help my creativity, blossom into something, real magnificent. So yeah, man, I just love the challenge of trying to make people laugh. I love the challenge of trying to continue to grow as a comedian, trying to continue to grow as an entertainer, and and I just love what I do. So that's my motivation. I truly love what I do.
I love that. That's so special, because I feel like most people can't say that they really like love what they do. So I think that that's a really special thing. So earlier you mentioned about how like you celebrate other comedians and like cheer them on. Do you celebrate your own success?
I do sometime, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm settling. Like, even though when I do some HBO Def Jam or I do a special, I always feel like there's going to always continue to be room for me to grow. So I challenge myself, and like when I critique myself, I mean, I'm my hardest critic. Nobody's going to be as hard on my talent as I am. So I'm always critiquing myself, like, oh, I could have done this better, or this could have flowed a little different and everything, man. So I challenge myself to just continue to, build off the success that I have, build off the joke that I have created. And, I try to tweak it and twerk it, man, where, I feel like it could probably go a little better and everything. So I always challenge myself like, hey, JJ, you can do better. And even if it's standing ovation, already, I just feel like, I'm always tell myself you can do better, man. So, that's my motivation. So I won't settle until, you know, like, all right, I'm good. I ain't got to do nothing else. No, there's so much more I could be doing.
I feel like that's such a great trait to have, because I feel like it shows how driven you are and how disciplined you are, which
Absolutely.
I feel like that's,
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel like that's a wonderful trait to have.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do celebrate yourself, what does that kind of look like for you?
Celebrate myself, man. You know, just whatever that's gonna make me smile. You know, I pat myself on the back. Again, you know, I'm just trying to see what else would I do. You know, I have a cocktail, and I definitely cheers to myself sometime and everything, man. But you know, again, I don't never want to get to the point where, like I said, you know, I feel like it's done. You know, it just motivates me to just do more. You know, just continue to create, continue to come up with material, continue to make people laugh, because I love putting smiles on faces. And even though I'm not a big famous name and everything, I love the challenge of when people like, man, I've never seen you before, I've never heard of you, but man, you came out here and you just rocked. Like, for example, I had a big show here in Dallas this past Friday. I did some dates on the Royal Comedy Tour. Bruce, some more, and Lavelle Crawford. And of course, you know, they're the bigger names, but so I went up before them, and every time I go out to a crowd that doesn't know me, I can look on their face like, man, I've never seen you before. Like, they looking at me like, who is this that's gonna go up? But then they give me great feedback on my social media. Like, a couple of people like, hey man, I've never heard of you, man, never heard of you, but damn, dude, you should have went last, or I'm a huge fan of yours now. Can't wait to see what's next from you. So, you know, I do get a big joy out of entertaining people that never seen my stand-up before. And it just makes me feel, you know, real warm inside. I love it.
I love that. I think that's so awesome.
Yes.
I feel like you have such like a positive, warm energy. Do you like how do you keep like such an upbeat, positive energy?
Again, I just love what I do. I love to entertain. I love to I get my drive off my, you know, I finally found my purpose, my niche of what I'm here to do on earth, man. So I keep that positive energy, man, by you know, just entertaining the world, man, them laughing at me. I'm constantly always working. So, you know, luckily, you know, I've been able to tour with Cedric the Entertainer for years. So he taught me a lot about the business, how to work a stage, how to work huge audiences and everything. Because after the King of the Comedy, everybody went their separate ways. And I was lucky enough to I was lucky enough to, you know, get on tour with him. He allowed me to showcase my brand in front of his audience, man. So yeah, I get a kick out of it every time I touch that stage.
I love that. That's so awesome. Because yeah, as soon as you came in, Misha and I both were like, oh my goodness, like this guy's great. You have just such a positive energy. I love that.
Absolutely.
So I remember earlier we were talking a little bit more on like motivation, and I kind of wanted to circle back to that and ask you, do you have like a specific person in your life or someone else that maybe you know that kind of motivates you?
Well, of course, it starts with the man upstairs. Absolutely, man. The man upstairs, he definitely is in my corner. He's never turned his back on me. So he's always been my motivation. And then I have a great team. My assistant, Corey Bethel. I have a couple of other people that's in my circle that just helps me, just give me input on and feedback on, the things I may want to try to create or do. And luckily, we have been friends for so many years, man. They be honest with me. I don't have no yes man, no yes person in my corner. if they feel like I'm doing something wrong or they're not feeling that idea or something like that, they'll let me know. And I like that. I want positive feedback because it's not just for me, it's for us. We're a team, the Sunny Inc. as well as, the Respect My Consciousness is my brand and everything. So, I have a great team that helps me out tremendously. Even when my parents were both here, still alive, man, my parents were great, people that was in my corner. And I have siblings, my brothers and sisters. They can constantly motivate me each and every day. Now that I do radio, we got a great cast of people that's on the radio with Keita Rose, Dee Dee, whose show it is, Dee Dee Morning Show, and my man Jay Cruz and myself. I just got a great support cast in my corner that's always pushing me, always giving me ideas, always, helping me continue to keep that drive. I mean, a lot of people we do radio from 4:30 in the morning to like 10. So a lot of people don't like to get up that early. I'm really not a morning person, but I'd be so glad to just wake up and get ready to entertain the world, because we're syndicated. We're in like 82 cities and everything. So, again, I like what I do. I love what I do, actually. So, I just go back every morning, man. I just get up and bam, we on the radio, and people like, man, your energy, you can just tell in your voice that you're happy. Your life is going great, and you inspire us to continue to strive and try to be great as well. So, again, even though I don't have the name that people think I have or where I'm headed and everything, man, I feel like I'm impactful to a lot of people.
I think that's awesome. And yeah, it's always really great to have a really good support system because, they can really push you to be your best self, which is phenomenal.
Absolutely, yes.
So do you have or had a project that it was just something that you were really, really proud of?
Really proud of. I think my first thing was when I did my 30-minute special on Laugh Out Loud Network, which is ran by Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart gave me an opportunity to do a special on his network. So that was a very proud moment in my career, in my life, being able to finally get out my material the way I wanted to do it, man. It wasn't watered down like, you do Def Comedy Jam, you do BET Comic View, but they edit to their liking. For me, he gave me the platform like, hey, JJ, this is your project. We're going to ride with you, whatever direction and vision you have for your special. You do it. And we're not going to mess with it. If you believe in it, we believe in it. So it was great to finally have an opportunity to do it my way as far as putting myself out there, putting my material out there. So I think that was one of my high points of my career, being able to do my special on his network. And it did real well. I got great numbers and everything, man. People are asking for a new one. So I'm working on one now.
That's awesome. I bet it was such a grateful moment to just have someone be like, perform your material as is. Like, we're not going to change it. We're not going to
change it. We're not going to edit it down. We're not going to take this out. So, and they let it flow as smooth like I wanted it and everything, man. So it really went well for me. And I was very proud of myself being able to, just format and outline the way I visioned my special being out there. And it worked and went over very well.
Yeah, I bet that would be such a surreal moment too of, finally being able to be like, this is 100% all me. So
all me, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So as we're talking a bit about your journey through your career, would you say that you have like any specific story that really sticks out in your journey so far?
That really sticks out. once I finished college, I went to Alcorn State University, which is a HBCU in Lorman, Mississippi. Before I started doing stand up, man, I lied to my parents and told them that I had a job waiting on me in Atlanta, Georgia, which I really didn't. I just knew that I had needed to leave Mississippi, and I love where I'm from, but I just needed to leave Mississippi to pursue my life, my career, my journey. So I moved to Atlanta to stay with my girlfriend at the time. Didn't have no really direction of where I'm going to go, what direction I was going to go with my life. And this is even before I started doing stand-up. I started doing stand-up in Atlanta. So I moved to Atlanta in 93. Moved to Atlanta in 93. I was working at the time it was called Circuit City. It was the Best Buy back then. It was the best. I used to sell computers and different type of electronics and everything. And a lot of people a lot of my friends that even that grew up with me, they tried to leave Mississippi, but unfortunately, things didn't turn out the way they wanted. They had to move back home. And and of course, my journey wasn't always great. I definitely had some struggles. I contemplated about moving back, man, but I knew I didn't want to do that. I felt like I had the drive, the ambition, the desire to stay out of Mississippi. And people to this day, it's funny, even though I've been gone for so long, people to this day be like, man, you made it. You didn't have to come back home. You didn't have to come back home, man. You stuck it out. So I stuck it out. So that's one of the things I'm truly proud of myself. I didn't give up on me. I believe my skill, like I said, I had the man upstairs in my life, man. So I believed in my talent and my drive and things I want to do with my life and everything. And I stuck it out, and here I am.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm from Ohio, and back in my hometown, it was kind of one of those cool things to be like, oh, you made it to Columbus, because like even getting out of getting out of my small town and going to Columbus was like getting out, because no one really ever leaves my hometown. So it's one of those things where you're like, I can't go back, or else everyone's gonna be like, oh, you came back, and you're like,
look,
no,
you came back. So then when you come back, for some reason, I don't know why people feel like that's a failure. People think like, oh, he couldn't make it, he couldn't survive out there on his own. He had to come back home. I mean, some people journeys bring them back home. Some people journeys bring them back home. I'm just glad mine didn't, because I didn't grow up in a bad area. I was blessed to have both of my parents. I was blessed to have older siblings and everything, but everybody was gone except one of my brothers who was special need. So he had to stay back. But as far as me, I was just glad that, I stuck it out, and I just kept that grind going until, I found my route in life.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome, because it shows that you really believed in yourself.
Absolutely.
So this question, I added in this question just because I thought it was kind of fun. And,
okay.
So would you say that you have a spirit animal? And if so, what would that animal be?
If I had a spirit of an animal, a spirit of an animal. I'm gonna probably say something like a cheetah or Caesar from Planet of the Apes. I just ain't gonna take no mess. I ain't gonna take no mess. You gonna respect me. You gonna have to respect my territory. You gonna have to respect my surroundings. Let you know that I do have a soft heart, but I can turn cold if I need to turn cold. But luckily I treat people with respect. I treat people with with respect, and I never try to disrespect anybody. So and that respect came right back towards me. And I think people felt like I was a very genuine person. I have a loving heart. I wish everybody well. I'm not a player. I'm not a hater. I don't wish nothing bad on no one because for me and everybody's different. I feel like it's enough for everybody. It's enough for everybody. It's enough on the plate for everybody to eat. So I'm not greedy. I'm not out here just thinking about myself. I want mine, but I also want to be able to give back and allow other people to enjoy the journey as well of whatever they're trying to do. So I try to motivate people, man, and keep their spirits up because I know my spirit is gonna always be up. Everybody have their days, man. But for the most part, I'm gonna always keep my spirit up because you just never know who may need you or who I can help motivate and inspire to continue to just grow and find their way in the path in this life. So I just love it. I love to try to motivate and just keep smiles on people's face. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely be that gorilla, that cheetah, and I'm gonna go get it.
I like that. I like cheetah as an answer. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Mine would personally be, I think mine would probably be like a rat.
Oh really?
That counts. I can't.
Now, as long as you ain't one of them New York rats, because they big.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm a New York rat. I'm like,
oh really? Okay. Well, go get it. They hungry too now.
Yeah, I love because some other writers here at SlapStik, they asked people about like tarot card readings and like if they had ever got their cards read. I'm not really sure how tarot card readings work. And other people talked about like manifestation, and so I was like, ooh, I want to ask about spirit animals.
Oh,
I think it's interesting.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I just think it's kind of fun. So.
Yes, it is.
And then to wrap it up, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, do you have any quotes that you live by, or any sayings or phrases?
Some quotes or phrases. Let's see. I'm a country boy, so my daddy used to always tell me, man, get plenty of rest because it's going to be daylight before you know it. And I never understood that back in the day as a kid. It's going to be daylight before you know it. But once I got older and I'm out on my own, I'm out here providing for myself, I get it now. I get it because the day go by so fast and it's already another day. So he always tell me man, get plenty of rest, man, because it's going to be daylight before you know it. It's going to be daylight before you know it was one. My brother told me the other day, man, because we all getting older, so I like to go to the gym, work out. So he was like, man, you got to, what do you say? You got to stay ready so you won't have to get ready. And then he told me another one. Wow, I love this one. He just told it to me. What was that thing? Because again, we're getting older. So he said, man, you got to take care of what's left. You got to take care of what's left. And what he was meaning by that, your body's getting older. We all getting older. Eventually, all of us are going to go, to a place and everything, man. So you got to take care of what you have left. So, that's why I make sure I try to eat as well as I can, drink plenty of water, and I'm in that gym. I love to work out. I love to work. I mean, I ain't one of them or nothing like that, but I just like to exercise and, get me a quick little sweat in so I can continue to feel good and look good. I feel like I'm still marketable. I still have a lot of things I want to accomplish, and I just want to be around to see it and enjoy the fruit of my labor.
I like that. That's awesome. But I really felt it'll be daylight before you know it, because my parents used to say the exact same thing, and I'm like, no, it's not. But now every time when I have to get up at 7 a.m, I'm like, it feels like I slept for 40 minutes. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. You I just laid down.
Right? It's like you just lay down and close your eyes, and then you're like, you're up again. You're like, I swear to not actually sleep.
Right, absolutely. So yeah. So I take care of myself because again, I got a lot of things I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that concludes pretty much everything I had to ask you.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to, like plug any new project that you're working on, or like say any last.
Okay, well, for the listeners that's going to see this, gonna be in the magazine and everything, just continue to follow me. Comedian JJ Williamson. I'm part of the DD in the Morning Show. We're syndicated. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. I'm the real JJ from the SIP on Instagram. I'm the real JJ from the SIP on Twitter. Comedian JJ Williamson on Facebook. And definitely look out for me. I'll definitely be in your city very soon performing. If you've never seen my show, treat yourself.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I had a lot of fun picking your brains. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
And I thank y'all for this platform. Thank y'all for having a platform as such as this, man, to give comics another outlet to get their exposure, get their material out, give the listeners and people that just never seen me before. Hopefully I grab some more fans from this interview. I know I will. And I just appreciate y'all thinking about comedy and just continue to have so much success. And whenever y'all need me, I'm here. I'm a phone call away.
All righty. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You take care. And I know I'm going to be coming to Columbus to the comedy club real soon. So I'll make sure I let the team know so y'all can come check me out.
Okay, yes, please. It was funny because before you hopped on the call, Misha was like, I really hope we get a chance to see him. So we're right in your corner with you. So
okay. I will definitely keep y'all posted in time so y'all come check me out. I got you.
Alrighty, thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. You take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. All right.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.